What's going on? What's going on, you guys? It's Nene Adams. I'm in the building. I'm so excited that you guys are joining us here today. Today is going to be a topic talking about the pressures of having kids from so many different avenues, from your parents, from society, and also medical reasons. So we're going to talk about today. So make sure you join us and make sure you talk to us. You can call in. We'll give you information about that. We'll also be having the beautiful Desiree Jordan on today as our special guest. So we're so excited to have her on and talking about essential oils and everything that she's making and how she can bless us in our community. But before we get started with anything, you know how we get down. Let's go ahead and bless the room. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you and we just thank you so much for this day. And we thank you for this opportunity to speak and to be able to share and disseminate information that we have learned, that we have been taught, that we can give to our community that we're lacking in. So God, speak through us, allow our flesh to decrease and your spirit to increase, God. And we pray for anyone that is going through a difficult time. This is Women's History Month. So we want to make sure we uplift our women that are constantly breaking their backs day in and day out to be strong for everyone. So we just want to lift them up, and to our men too that are there supporting them as well. So thank you so much for that. And we want to just bless this room, bless this atmosphere, and we only can do it through you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Yo, today's been crazy. Again, I'm Nene Adams. You can follow me on Instagram at Coach D Love Me. You can also follow me on Truth Basketball or Truth 3 Basketball.
Yes, I'm Katrina Day, here to bless y'all day. And you can follow me on Katrina Day for Instagram and also on TikTok.
First off, we ain't gonna have you pray over grace at Thanksgiving and stuff because that was just too long. I'm just joking.
Yo, you're not gonna try Thanksgiving.
I'm not. It's too
Come.
long.
Yeah,
Well,
come through. I probably picked up a little bit.
I'm gonna come after grace because that thing was 10 minutes.
Yeah, break code. The break only got 5 minutes. You got to the break code.
I'm gonna stay over here.
You gotta bless. You gotta bless. You know when that spirit hits you.
Right, and that's why you don't need to pray because spirit might hit you too many times. So. We're going to have you pray after we eat. My name is Jeff Jackson. Y'all can follow me on all social medias at Jeff Jackson Jr. That's it.
Yeah, the name is Von Walker. You can find me on that Von Walker on IG. And I just want to say, just piggyback off of what Jeff was saying, man. You was kind of live. I mean, I came in here a little tired, but now I'm fired up.
I'm
ready to go.
I appreciate it, yo. That's what it's about, man. We gotta get this information. We got to get the people involved, and I'm excited. Like, this week has been crazy, but I'm glad to be here. Like, how was y'all week?
I mean, just to chime in, I actually had a great weekend. We took a quick trip to Philly. We learned more about wholesale. It was just a great atmosphere, a great environment, learning experience for myself. So I don't know about you, but I had an amazing time. They didn't give me a steak and cheese. No, but it's okay. We didn't go there for that. We went there for learning, but we'll let that slide.
That's weird.
I mean, my weekend was cool. You know, did a little turn up on Friday.
COVID.
Hey, COVID turned up. You feel me? Social distancing in the club. It's very fun because you still got to be close. But and then Sunday I was in a film, so busy weekend. But yeah, getting this week started.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you know, my weekend was actually pretty chill. I didn't really like one of my shoots got canceled. So that kind of freed up my Saturday afternoon. So I took the opportunity to just kind of chill out, clean up a little bit, and yeah, my weekend was pretty chill. Was not a whole lot going on this weekend.
Yeah, but your weekends are good. You know, they're needed at times just to relax, especially you got a busy work week like this week. They're playing with me, but you know, it's important to take that time out to relax and chill.
No, that's real. That's real. On this day with Day, let's get it.
Yes, let's get it on this day with Day. So you may know these, you may not know, but either way, you're going to learn today. So on March 1st, 1780, Pennsylvania was the first state to abolish slavery, but for newborns only. In 1995, Yahoo was incorporated. And lastly, in 1998, Titanic became the first film to gross $1 billion. Now, before we move on, let me just say this. I'm still will never understand this ending. How Rose gonna let Jack die? First of all, we would have been like rock, paper, scissors. We gonna have to take turns. Who going?
There was actually a little study on the internet that they did the whole geometry of the board that she was on, and they concluded
Because she got him on her. He could get on
that
her.
they both could have sat on that.
Exactly.
I would say something, but it's Women's Month.
It's Women's History Month. Let us live.
I'm gonna just keep it.
But I said rock, paper, scissors. So I mean, I was being neutral. At least take turns every 30 minutes. All right, switch.
Let me on the board. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.
Okay.
We would have took turns.
That was the only thing. I was very
But they could have both
disappointed
got on
at that. That hits me hard. You know,
Yeah, that was a sad movie. That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
That movie too long to be sad. That's 6 hours of your day watching one
Just
movie
give
you
it an
cry.
end.
Ain't nobody got time to
and
cry
he
for
just
that
sitting
long.
there like this on the board.
Like
Frozen.
the last
Frozen.
hour and a half was the boat sinking. You
Yeah.
right? That was kind of long,
It's a
man.
long
When you
movie.
think about it, it was
Long movie.
it's like,
Yeah. And you
that
want to end
thing
like
is
this.
sinking. It's taking a minute.
It took forever to sink.
It's
Can
cold
you
outside.
imagine dying for 6 hours? Lord,
Lord.
like, okay, I'm done. Like, just
Alright,
take me
take
out
it
by
down.
now, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was a little that was a bit much.
It's my turn. Laugh with Jeff. I ain't really got that much to say, but I did have something I just want to say real quick. Can y'all stop taking pictures on fishing boats and Snapchat videos on fishing boats and saying hashtag I'm on the yacht? Because it's not a yacht. It's a fishing boat.
Did you see somebody with the fish
Bro,
line?
I'm talking about with the little seat, the little spinning seat,
The spinning
and all that. And
Oh.
they ain't had no downstairs or upstairs. It was one level.
One level.
It was a
You should have took a picture. I would have put it on.
it was a ranch boat. It was a one level
That's
ranch
not a
boat,
yacht.
and they was
That's
in
not a
there
yacht.
talking about I'm on the
That's not a
yacht. That's not a yacht.
It's not a yacht.
That's a fishing boat. I know a fishing boat when I see one.
They was on that Forrest Gump shrimp boat.
Right, matter of fact, they almost had the paddle. They can almost hear with it. So
Hit the little Bow Wow challenge.
yeah, so just stop taking pictures on. If you on a fishing boat, just say I'm on a fishing boat. You ain't got to be
You out fishing today.
saying you on a fishing boat, saying that you on the yacht. It's just not a yacht. It's a fishing boat. That's it. Bad sport.
Wow. They need to chill out, man. Just relax.
Catfishing.
Just say I'm out here. Oh snap! I got some facts for y'all, man. Some little bit of news. I wrote it down. I took some notes.
Yeah.
So for my money crew out there, so if y'all been paying attention, I know last week I was kind of happy about the whole Bitcoin thing and that thing going up to $57,000 a coin. But today, you celebrated too quick.
It must have dropped.
It dropped to 49,000. So for all my investors out there, just be careful what you're doing. I got some Bitcoin. I ain't going front, so I'm in the game too. But understand that you can lose money and you can make money. But people think that once they get in it, it's always going to go up. It's always going to be a situation where they profit, which is not the case when it comes to like cryptocurrencies and even stocks as well. I'm in the stock game too, and I lose money all the time, but I also gain money too. So you just got to, be careful. Be all right with the money that you put in, be okay with losing it, and be okay with getting that profit too when it comes back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One other thing, and I kind of feel bad talking about this because it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time because it shows some real mental issues. Your girl K. Michelle, if anybody's been paying attention, y'all seen that video? Have you seen it?
I have not seen the video.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it.
I've been off social media.
So wait a minute. Why is it the two guys on the show? So y'all just avoided it or something?
No, I'm not big on social media like that.
Oh, okay.
I'm for real.
I'm not.
Okay.
Women sent it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it because I get like news notifications.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's what they're called nowadays.
I didn't know. Stop.
Notifications.
Well, but yeah, man, it was a video of her and her assets decided to not work. They went a different direction.
Her assets detached.
So that happened again because it happened before.
I don't know about last time. I know that I don't know about there was. I don't know if there was a video last time.
Okay.
There was a video last, but
Yeah.
this time she looked like she was dancing. And she looked like she had an iPhone in her cheek. Like the iPhone fell out the
Yeah,
case. That's what it looked like.
that.
No, I know she's been. I don't know about that, babe, but I know she's been very transparent in the past about what has happened to her, about the illegal injections, and how that she's been, reconstructive surgery, and there's a lot that she's been going through. So I know these things are happening. You constantly see these comments that come out about people, but it's like honestly, she's being very transparent.
No, she is.
I know these mishaps. So like I know a lot of people just were speaking down about her or whatever, and that's one of the things that's like. When an artist is being transparent with you, anybody being transparent with you, just kind of giving them a moment of the benefit of the doubt. But like people were making fun of her, people were doing this and that and the third.
The thing. Since it's Women's History Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and have a little bit of sympathy for K. Michelle.
So I shouldn't laugh. Man, forget y'all, man.
Look, all I'm saying, like, yeah, but like I do agree. Like, it's a community. We should uplift her, and especially since she's been open about it.
She's been open about it. Let's not.
And it's big in the community of what a lot influencing a lot of people right now. So by her being transparent, it can help others. So
Right.
I view,
being Women's History Month, because the majority of the people that's coming at her are women. I haven't seen, dudes, get the laughing emojis and whatnot, but it's the women that are really saying some messed up, harsh stuff that I've seen the comments. So it's Women's History Month. Just leave that woman alone. Let her deal with that, because she's going through enough as it is. I'm sure she is super embarrassed about that.
Women, let's come together. Like, again, this is what the show is about, to uplift, inspire, and empower each other. Like, in this time, she needs us the most to just lift her up. So
we all got
make
flaws,
sure we do
all
that.
Of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's word. Let's go right into the topic for the day. We already got some people on, and they're here for the topic. Big Star already said, you know why I'm here. My topic is here. Yes, I definitely want you to call in, Andrea, because I think you will be a great person to come and talk to us about this topic. But again, guys, we're talking about the pressures of having kids. And literally, a lot of these pressures come from our parents. I know that me personally, I don't have any kids. And that has been a big thing with me. Parents come to us about a lot of reasons. Either they want grandchildren of their own. It's something that's been passed down from society, that maybe they're just like, hey, at a certain age, you got to have kids. But I know me, with those pressures for having kids, all the things that I do, I'm at the point in my life where I choose not to have a child. I love my freedom to travel. I love my freedom to get up and do what I want. But those pressures can weigh on you. And I don't know how you guys feel about them, but I know a lot emotionally it's draining. And I think it's my choice to make, and not to be asked or pressured to do something that I don't want to do.
I think mostly women are thinking like that, because y'all have a biological clock. You see what I'm saying? I think y'all do get a lot more inquiries about why you don't have children or when you're going to have them. See, me as a dude, I can have a child at 50. I would choose not to have a child at 50 though, because I remember being able to ride bikes and play with my dad. So I'd rather have him younger. You know what I'm saying? Well, hopefully before I'm 40 or something. You know what I'm saying? But that for me, the reason why I don't have any kids right now is just because, like, two reasons. One, I was paranoid, didn't think I was ready for it, didn't have the money for it. Let's be real about that. That's a very big factor as a man, because you are responsible for that for the most part. And two, you just haven't found the right woman. I thought I found maybe one or two, but that's after a while you start seeing things and flags. It's like, yo, hold up. You start backing away.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I mean, so I grew up the only child, even though I'm not the only child, but I grew up the only child. And my mom asks me all the time, so when you have kids, I'm like, when you gonna find someone?
Right. See, that's what we think about all the time. Like,
the biggest thing is a man has to be financially ready to have a child. I think a lot of times with women, from our perspective, don't think about the finance behind it. It's just like, oh, we're gonna have a baby and everything will be great. We're gonna be a family. But I just feel like that sometimes they don't think that the man's like, okay, well, now I have to take care of you and that child and myself, so I gotta be able to have money to take care of all three.
Yeah, so you already know I'm about to chime in, right? So
please do.
But definitely, and just to even piggyback on kind of what you were talking about, even the pressures, for family societies and growing up.
Uh-huh.
So you think about it. You're a young girl, you have a girl, you tell them, hey, you get older, you want to go ahead and graduate from college, you want to get married, and then you want to go ahead and have kids. So you got the pressure only from your family, but also from a medical standpoint, because we are looking, 35, I start encounter, some difficulties, high risk pregnancy and things along those lines. So all I'm thinking is I got a ticking time bomb. I got to move. I got to do all these things and try to have kids, where yes, as men are more relaxed, where I can have a child at 70 if I want to. And it's you can have your life backed out more. But like, as you mentioned, there's people who want to be active in their children's lives. But let me just say this, grandparents, y'all don't babysit like other grandparents used to back in the day. So y'all keep wanting all these kids, but then don't want to babysit.
I think the problem is, though, a lot of us are having kids younger, though. That's why some of them, the grandparents,
no shade.
The grandparents now are like 30, 35. That's why they're like, no, I'm not watching.
No,
I'm not big mama.
Some of them are not. And I mean, I'm just thinking about, but we had great memories, growing up with, elders in our family, so That's all I'm just saying.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think like what Jeffrey was talking about, like men financially, and I get it, like they have to be mentally prepared, feeling like they can be the provider, right? And I think as women, we are like, we're ready to have kids. We're like, the man is going to provide, so we're good to go. So we're not really so much thinking of the monetary behind it. It's more of like, hey, this is what we're meant to do, and let's have these kids, and we'll figure it out along the way.
So the one thing that people always say, women think emotional and men think rational, because a lot of times from my experience, women are just like, well, I mean, we're in love, like we're gonna be here forever and all that, and the man like, yeah, but we gotta pay for it. We gotta pay for this. Like, who gonna buy the diapers? Who gonna pay for the food? Where the baby gonna stay at? So if we're not living together, I gotta buy 2 cribs. We gotta buy 2 strollers. We gotta do all that stuff.
Yeah, man.
And,
so everybody should think you have to learn how to control your emotions, not only just from a female, but just a male too as well. We have to learn how to control our emotions so we can all think with ration.
Correct.
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, and when it comes down to the cost, like you brought up, literally, according to USDA, it was saying that it costs on average $13,000 a child. So if you have more than that, go ahead and multiply that by 2 or 3.
Is that per year?
That is per year. So it can get up to around $233,000 in their lifespan. It's a lot of money. So you got to factor that stuff in.
13,000.
I swear to God, my mother, when I was living with her, did not spend that much money on all 3 of us a year. I know.
It's really dependent upon expenses.
If you're trying to, if you're talking about childcare, which is $400 per kid a week, which is ridiculous. If you're talking about stuff like that, then maybe. But I mean, that's when you got to have the right person with you with. Like, you got to have a good setup. You know what I'm saying?
It's also like an influx, because back when we were raised, stuff didn't cost as much.
Exactly.
Nah, you're right about that.
Like milk, like how much milk now? Like $20?
Yeah,
$40,
literally.
Like
it's almost as much as gas.
So it's like gas is crazy. But back in the day, you can go get your little thing of milk for like $2. You like, everybody got milk, and gas is $1,000 a gallon. I'm gonna start Ubering places.
Freer programs, more reduced programs for activities, and now with activities, even just for my kids, like they're expensive.
Yeah.
Shout out to Truth Basketball.
Shout out. Brah.
I've never heard of that organization.
You got jokes today.
Now you say now you know it's Shout them out. But no, seriously, like even society puts a lot on us. And it was so funny. I was watching 35 and Ticking, and it's so funny. Like, if y'all haven't seen that movie, it's hilarious. But I had to watch it over again because Kevin Hart is my man. That's just the comedian himself. Oh man, my water jug's over there.
Oh, okay.
I got the gallon. I'm walking with the gallon. But no, the main character was just so stressed out because she was 38 years old or 37, somewhere around there. And she's just like, I just want to have a baby. I just want to have a baby. My clock is ticking, and how I think about that. And I think I came to the realization, I can't speak for every woman, is that if it's my time, if it's God's will, then it'll be done. Like, I think my faith is that strong that I know that if it's not my time, if he doesn't want me to have it, then hey, I'm not going to have kids. But if it is, then I'll have kids.
Oh, yeah. Look.
I'm looking at the camera too, so y'all know it's real.
This way,
so y'all know it's real.
What I'm getting from that is you're waiting for the oops. Snap, I'm pregnant.
No, I'm waiting for the right one. I'm waiting for like I have standards, I guess you can say. I'm not going to just settle for anything.
Can we have a whole show about that one
day?
We
can.
Yes, I want to talk about that.
Boy, I'm ready to.
We can. It was already got thumbs
up. I'm ready to chop.
Need a thumbs
up.
Because women be like, "Here come my bag of standards," and the man be like, "Nah."
No, it's real because I've seen my close friends who are going through baby father drama and just all of that headache, and I'm just like, you know what? I get it that it might not be perfect. But at least if I could find a partner that is understanding on how to be cordial in those situations, that's what I'm expecting. Treat me good. Times. Exactly. Yeah, like he has to understand that.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think my friends around me have kind of pushed me away from wanting to have kids. I was like, you going through what? No, I'm good. You go let me just say, my dismount is strong. Okay. Dismount.
Why can't we why can't we normalize people who don't want to have kids? There's a lot of people, like you said, who desire not to for their own personal reasons. We shouldn't view it as soon as someone gets married, they're like, oh, so when are you going to have kids?
Yeah.
First of all, what if they don't even want to have kids?
Right.
You know, y'all just automatically just come out and just say these things. And again, let people just do whatever they want to do. And you don't need to speak on it unless they speak on it.
Live and let live. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to have kids, no problem. You know what I'm saying? If you do, also no problem.
Right.
You know, I've had someone tell me, like, actually a woman said, so do you want kids? And I was like, yeah, eventually. And all she did was she wrote like 2 sentences and was like, I can explain at least 20 different reasons why that is a bad idea. I said,
Yo,
what do you mean?
You dealing with, man?
And never got a response.
You know,
Okay.
You know, it's funny, the pressures of a successful man and the standard success, right? A man has a job, a man has a place, a man has a car. Those standard successes, you always see people like, well, man, you should have kids now. It's like, well, why is that the order that my life has to go in? Like, why can't I have a business? Or why can't I just travel the world and do what I want and then come back and settle down and have kids? I think this generation now is more about, let me live my life first, and then I'm gonna come back and have kids. Where our parents' generation was like, we're gonna have the kids, and then after we raise them, then we're gonna go turn up. It's like, nah, bro. We trying to turn up first.
You can only do that. You can only do that if you had children as young as our parents did.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because us right now,
don't say us.
See,
you're the only one.
See,
you don't.
See, you're different.
Got mine out the way.
Yeah, nah. See, you're different.
She about to turn up in her 40s.
Right.
Okay.
But that's cool though. That's what I mean.
Right.
Like us, it ain't gonna be that way, man. You know what I'm saying? If we have it.
Yeah,
Right. I got babies,
but I feel though
Cool.
like you have to be selfish though in that sense. So like, yeah, if I do have a child at 40, I've already experienced my life, right? So I already got my selfishness out the way.
Yeah.
I've traveled, I've just indulged in everything that I wanted to do, right? So that by the time I have kids, now I have to give them everything because now that's my
Right.
responsibility. My responsibility is not me anymore. It's the kids. So now I have to sacrifice for them. So that's why I'm like, hey, the later I have it, the better instead of the earlier. Because now I got to sacrifice my 20s and my 30s for them. And then have
you don't even got no money in your 20s and 30s. You broke. So
You don't.
So go ahead.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself.
I
yourself.
just want to throw it out there. Y'all broke.
Speak for yourself.
So then when I'm 40, I'm gonna be on a real yacht. Now, on a real yacht. Okay. While y'all there watching y'all kids, and I'm gonna be like this. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
I'm still gonna be good.
There's definitely pros and cons to that. There's definitely pros and cons to having kids earlier and having kids later. That's fine. I just don't want to have kids in my 40s. I don't think I want to do that.
At this point in life, in my almost mid 30s, I don't even know if I want to have kids. Like I really, like I'm sitting back, like, do I want to? Yeah.
At this point, it's starting to. It's that type of question is actually popping in my head too.
Right.
But outside of a monetary aspect, can I just say this? Kids are a blessing.
Oh,
they are a wonderful thing. Like,
don't say that just because they're over there.
over there being good. Y'all can't even hear them, but they are.
That means they disciplined.
But no, they are. They truly are a blessing and a light. So
I don't think it's even monetary for me. It's just the flexibility, like to be able to just go when I want. Because now, if I have to arrange, so like for instance, we're traveling. It's 2021 to travel, right? So y'all got that. If I was to just
COVID,
be like, all right, COVID.
Did you say about the club?
If I wanted to travel, now I got to figure out how to arrange childcare.
Right.
Who's going to, and I'm very protective. And if y'all send me y'all kids, they're treated like my own. Like nothing will happen to them. I'm bringing them back as is.
Just get grandma.
So if I'm that protective, I can't just leave my child with anybody.
Just get grandma.
That's just me.
Grandma will be all right.
No, by that time, my grandma ain't.
See,
my mama ain't. No.
See, I have two people
supportive
that I can be like, all right, bet, and you already know.
Yeah.
My aunt. What you say about that? Off top. You say, oh, she said, oh, word, y'all going out? Give me them kids.
Yeah.
She does that with my cousin now. So I'm in that aspect.
Resources. That's key.
That's what I'm saying.
Resources.
Like I have them, and I'm sitting there like I don't have nobody yet. Nobody's calling me dad yet. That's crazy, but it's all right because I have the resources. They're there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Some people don't have that though. Like you were saying, like some people, it's really difficult for them to get somebody to take care of their children that they actually trust, because that's a huge factor.
Yeah.
You know, kids are vulnerable.
That is true.
Well, it's cool being a godparent because I can have my godkids and treat them like they
That's
mine,
dope too.
and then drop them back off when I'm ready. Like I'm
Yeah.
like I have like, hey, what's up? They what up? They all up under me, hugging me and kissing on me and buying them gifts.
Return them back.
And then hey,
That's it. Go to mom.
this little 4-hour lease is expiring.
Hey, you know what? That's the crazy thing too, because my grandmother said that too.
Mhm.
She says, "Yeah, you know, I love grandkids. I kind of love y'all more than I love my own kids.
Right,
I love
right,
y'all."
right.
I said, "Well, how you figure that?" She says, "Because I can give y'all back."
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and that's exactly how. Because I
Right.
have a godson too,
Mhm.
so it's like, yeah.
You go.
Yeah.
You
All right, man. Yo, it's
Right.
been 2 days.
Right.
Go ahead, mob out.
So you
Yo,
see
hold
how
it for your
like
dad real
you
quick.
see how you was the only child,
Yeah.
and you were like technically the only child at the time with your dad, at least where you stayed with him.
Yeah.
one-on-one. It was 3 of us in the house,
Too many.
so it was just so much. So you saw a lot of things, and you were just like, I don't want to have to deal with that. Like 3 girls, it was a lot. And I know we put our mom, and I'm looking at the camera right now. Sorry, mom. We put her through a lot of stuff. I know I can speak
It was
for
all
me.
fun and love. It was
Yeah.
fun and love.
I did a lot, and I know
Who was the
my
worst?
kid. Me hands down.
You didn't even look like the worst.
I think
I believe
growing up, maybe up
You was,
until
like,
about it was about freshman year
sneaky?
when I was on the basketball court and I had like a bad game. I was cussing. You know,
Okay.
I don't do that no more. Yeah,
Oh.
look, it was bad, y'all. And my mom told me, she was like, "You will never play this game again if I hear that type of language." Right, straightened up, bam. So my life got good probably around 14.
Wait.
Right.
So
But besides that, I was
So
a
what
little
kind of
hoodie.
language was you using? Were you saying
I
mother?
don't think I was saying anything inappropriate
Use a-
though.
you
You
was
in
reckless
my
in middle
house,
school?
you ain't-
You was reckless in middle school?
I was reckless and I was in detention.
Ooh,
Y'all,
I got
I'm
stories
not
to
giving
tell
my
you. Just let me know.
I wasn't. No, Mr. Ambush had me in detention every day.
Miss Amber said,
Yeah,
Miss Amber said everybody.
That's
Right,
true.
he did.
For no reason.
All right, write it out in the comments if you know Mr. Ambush's
You know, he
nickname.
If y'all remember
suspended
Mr.
me for 2 days.
Right.
I ain't gonna
Hey,
say
I'll
it
give
to
you
the end.
$10 if you
If
remember
know
Mr.
Ambush's
Ambush.
nickname.
You know, he suspended me for 2 days, right? No, he did, man. But I ain't gonna front. I did say something to him that was probably extremely inappropriate, but I was pissed off.
Bro, let me tell you
Yeah.
something. We fight him I got in trouble by him every day. Like he'd walk past me, I'd be like this.
With the
And
neck,
then,
with the
right.
neck
And then
detention.
I'd be like this, he'd be like,
Detention.
man. And I go straight to the detention. I ain't do nothing.
I'm blaming my troubles on Medea. Shout out to Medea. Shout out to you. Remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you, girl. But no, seriously,
Yeah, I
yo.
don't think
this-
Oh, you
That's
need to
cool.
pass
That's
the pass,
cool.
huh?
Pass the pass.
Oh,
Hey, you see how cheery?
Worry
You
about
see
me.
how cheery she is, right?
Right.
That's
But
the
that's
power.
what
I
I'm
get it.
saying. Like,
dig
I
it.
know what I did as a kid, and I know with my sisters and stuff, and I'm like, do I really want to go through that? So it's a lot. Cookie. Donald, you don't know. That's right. Why you tell him?
She told him.
That's
He
close.
didn't even go to
That's
school up
close.
here.
Yeah.
He didn't even go to Boko.
Oh, cookie day.
She said, "Oh, it's Dazzy." All right, Dazzy, you get $10. Matter of fact, I'll just get you Chipotle.
Excuse me, where are you supposed to be? God, that guy was a classic.
Yo, but Daisha, you too. You also said something like, "Why? Why did they ask us if we're not gonna have kids or not? Like, or why don't you have kids, right?"
Yeah.
And I thought about that as like when someone asks you a why question, you automatically go into defense mode, right?
Yeah.
So think about it. If you told your kids to do something, right? Like, "Hey, I need you to go clean your room," and they turn around and hit you with the why.
Oh nah.
The first
Your first
Oh nah.
your first was like, what? Like, who are you
Oh,
talking
nah.
to? So
Oh,
think
nah.
about in that aspect, if someone's coming to you and be like, why don't you have kids? A person is naturally going to go into defense mode. So I think another way to approach it, at least for me, is like ask them or speak over their life. Like, I think you will be an amazing mother one day.
If that's what you
If
decide.
that's what you decide. Because maybe that person was like, I wasn't thinking about having kids, but you just spoke that over my life. Like, maybe I should. You never know. I think positive, and I'm always thinking positively. So I think something like that would be a better approach.
I'm gonna be a terrible dad
No.
because I'm gonna. No. Let me tell you why. Because I'm probably y'all know my father, right? I don't know if you remember my father. You might have been a-
I remember him.
Yeah.
I love you, Daddy. Shout out.
but he was lenient, and I would be doing all kind of stuff, jumping off walls and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I'm probably going to be in the background with my kids because my dad was always cautious. He was like, okay, I'll let you do it, but if you get hurt, I'm messing you up.
Right.
I'm going to be in the background like, do it. I want to see what happens. Jump. I might be able to catch you.
He said I might be able to
You know
catch
what I'm
you.
saying? So I think I'll be a fun dad, but I'll be a dangerous one at the same time.
Nah, you definitely would. Make sure, guys, I forgot. Make sure you call in 240-344-3449 if you would like to talk and join in on the conversation. I know some people was on the chat and they wanted to say a few things. So make sure you tune in again, 240-344-3449. Let me go ahead and put that in here.
Yeah, I don't even know what.
Oh shoot, that was fast.
Look at that.
Got a caller.
We won't take long distance call.
State your name.
Hey, this is Kiva. Hey, sis.
What's going on, sis? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing blessed, and I'm glad that I'm doing blessed. I am blessed. But no, talk to us. What's going on?
So the topic about being a single mom. How about being a single mom and being active? That was my.
I can imagine.
I decided to have a baby while I was active duty and still pretty young in my career. So that kind of made it a little difficult for me. And then on top of it, I'm not married. So when it's time to transfer and you got to go and I'm in the Navy and you got to deploy or whatever the case may be, then that does become the hard part. And the finances are serious. That is a very big struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Being a single parent, no matter what the military gives you, whatever the case may be, it's really hard. I'm not going to lie. It was hard. But it was well worth it, though. I can't even complain about that part.
Definitely. And I know too, and we were going to go into talking about some of the medical things. And I know there's a lot of factors that go into it. Do you have anything to speak about that?
So I pretty much had said that if by 35 I had gotten pregnant or had a kid, I wasn't going to have a kid. So my son is welcome home from deployment, baby.
Deployment babies.
Welcome home from deployment. Welcome home.
Just like
we
that.
Go ahead and do this. Get it? That's exactly how I tell them that all the time. But as far as health-wise, I pretty much had a healthy pregnancy. But as you know, as being in the military, your body just wears down. So I was lucky to have him at the age that I had him at, which was 30, and now I'm 42 now. So it was good for me. But I have a lot of active duty friends who are still in the military who are like past like 38, still saying that they want kids. And like I tell them, I said, it's pretty much going to probably be hard on your body, but I understand what you're saying, because after I retired, then I started getting all of these different problems, like fibroids developed, and I had to have surgeries and all this other stuff. So yeah, as you get older, I think the young lady said about your body getting older and things of that nature, it is true. When your body gets older, it is no matter how healthy you think you are, it is very hard to say, make the decision to say, I'm going to get pregnant, because there's more factors added into it. And, no matter how hard you think you took care of your body in the military, there's things that happen to your body that you're not aware of sometimes, because as much as you think, I know my body, and then all of a sudden you retire and they go, oh, by the way, did you know did you know that was like, wait, no, none of that was going on.
Definitely. I know that's right, sis. Thank you so much. Anybody got something for her? Y'all good?
I think she's absolutely right. I think women really do need to take in consideration when you say that you want to have children later because of XYZ in your 20s and your early 30s. I think women really need to really think about that. It's different for men. That's Mother Nature saying that. That's not society. Society's not saying, oh, it's all good for men and women, you must do this. No, that's a biological fact that it is better for women to have children younger. It's just as opposed to being older.
Thank you, sis. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate your love and your support. So thank you so much for your comment.
Thank you.
Always much love. Y'all have a good show.
Yes, man. You too.
So I never thought about, and I've never researched the medical portion about men, because I'm pretty sure men have some type of medical thing. When they get
a lot of the things that I saw with men was just sperm. Yeah.
Well, that's what makes the baby. So
right. But that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing.
No. It is the only thing, because we don't have to carry the child. See, right. And you can.
Correct.
You've had two already, so you know what time it is.
Right.
So it's like it's yes. As we get older, yes, the genes is not as potent as a 25-year-old or a 19-year-old.
Well, I think mine slow down.
So
I don't know if they're working fast or not.
And then even as women, it's crazy, and I don't know if this affects men too, but even STDs, according to Parent Planhood, STDs can cause it, infidelity. Infertility. 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 As far as
He calls
it's
infidelity.
a long day. It could cause that.
He calls
No,
infidelity.
it could be the
cause?
no, not the cause. What the hell am I looking for?
The result.
The result.
It could be the result.
It could be the result.
You know
But
what I'm saying?
infertility, right? STDs like chlamydia, gonorrhea can cause that.
Yeah.
If we're not ovulating correctly, it can cause that from happening. There's other medical, like our fallopian tubes. You know, if it's closed, the sperm can't get in there.
Right.
So there's a lot of factors. Poor eggs. There's a lot of factors from getting
Right.
phone calls that can prevent us from having a child.
Yeah, so I just want to speak on that briefly. And also, if you guys are not aware, this month is not only is it Women's History Month, but it's also Endometriosis Month. And so for those that may not be familiar with that, a lot of women have struggled with this disease and really don't speak about it. If you follow Tia Mowry, she actually just spoke about it today. It causes in which you face, extended periods, excruciating pain. There's fibroids that can come into play, a lot of many different things that also can affect infertility. And what's so crazy is women go to the doctors or even to the ER and say, hey, I've been, bleeding for 8+ days. I'm in excruciating pain. And we are often turned away for a lot of our medical reasons when we're dealing, especially with menstruation. And they're told us, hey, either deal with birth control, they take these different forms of birth control, or just deal with it. If not, or have a hysterectomy. And what the problem is, what they really don't speak about, even having endometriosis, and I can just speak briefly. I don't have endometriosis, but I have adenomyosis. Endometriosis affects the outside of the uterus. Mine is on the inside of the uterus. And so with that speaking, I did have excruciating pains. I couldn't figure out what was going on with me, but I didn't give up. I didn't matter how much the cost was. I made sure I had, some good insurance, but I still have some medical bills. So cash out, y'all. But I did not give up. I stayed and I wanted to figure out what was going on with me. I had different procedures that were finally done. And I learned about adenomyosis, and I learned it gave me a sense of closure. To be able to deal with that and have a level of understanding of what I need to do. But kind of like what we talked about last week on the show, they don't talk about nutrition. They don't talk about changing your diet, working out and doing these things because, they'll be so quick to tell you either birth control and deal with it, or you can possibly get pregnant. It might be hard. And other people actually have been able to experience pregnancy and things like that. So you never know what someone is dealing with. I'm blessed and fortunate to be able to have, 2 kids, but some people have already been dealing with this even at a young age and didn't know or just now finding out, and that affects them. So when you come to someone and say, why don't you have kids? It's so insensitive. And I think that's why we shouldn't bring up certain personal questions in those manners.
I think
I can definitely agree with that.
I definitely agree, especially the insensitive part.
Yeah.
Like you just
I don't know if it's insensitive though, because like you just said, that person just doesn't know what you're going through.
Right.
I wouldn't say it's insensitive. They're not informed because they're not in your business.
Right. But I
You know,
just feel
but-
like
but
some
my-
questions should be off limits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
You
I feel
can't-
like
you can't
Unless you
really-
come to me and you talk
You're
to me about it.
gonna tell grandma that's off limits.
But you don't. But right. But
Come on.
my thing is, no,
Don't
moving
do
is
that.
not. But my
Don't do
thing
that.
is, if you already know that this woman is like a little bit older and
Yeah,
it's already on her mind that maybe I'm not
So
having
you guys
kids.
don't even want the question.
No,
No.
my thing is,
Look, I'm like, no.
my thing is, you have it more. I don't mind, if someone, because I don't mind speaking about my experience and what I've endured.
Okay.
So I don't mind. But my thing is also too, you got to read and know when you pushing a button, or when when someone's like, okay, they're really into a conversation and want to talk. But I'm not with the ignorance, so.
I mean, they are ignorant because they don't
They
know.
are, but and that's why you educate them. I believe in firmly educating people at that point, and that's it.
Okay, fair enough.
Or it's just the way you word it. Like,
That's it.
is there
It's
a
all
reason
about
why you don't
delivery.
have
It's
any
all
kids?
about
'Cause I
it.
think
That
you'll
was
be an
just-
amazing person to have kids or whatever. However you word it, but not just straight on. Why you ain't got no kids?
You ain't got no kids. What's wrong
Right?
with
What's wrong with you?
It's
Right?
that.
It's
It's
that
that.
condescending
Like that.
type approach.
So
Like I don't like that.
I wonder like what's like the root cause of that. I wonder is because everyone feels like you need to keep your legacy going or you need to keep your family going. I'm wondering,
I think
like I
that's
need
part of it.
that now. Now I'm very interested. I'm about to just sit here and research that because you do hear that often. I can't speak of other communities because I don't know. I know in the Black community they're always pressuring people to have kids, and then they're not. It's not just one kid; they want you to have multiple kids.
Right.
So they want you to have a big family.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
I
It's
think
like,
it's
why?
big thing is because our community is big in church, and like the Bible says, like obviously
Yeah.
form a family, have kids, keep reproducing, be fruitful.
Maybe it came from slavery. I'm sorry, not slavery. So after slavery, when people had farms and stuff, and they had no workers, so they was like, well, let's just have a whole bunch of kids, have a whole heap of children out here in these streets.
Yeah.
And now you got the kids out there to pick the corn. You got to pay nobody. Maybe I'm about to research it. So,
Well, they do.
know.
My mom did say when I have kids, they're gonna do the stuff for me. So picking up the remote, taking out the trash.
That's
the reason.
Was the case.
That was the case.
People, when we were mostly farmers at one point, you needed people to work the land. So
Right.
you had to have like 4 or 5, maybe 6 if you get lucky.
A whole situation.
Right. Because so yeah, it's I think it's more of a primal thing. It's not. I don't think it's because we really don't need kids to do that stuff right now. And how we live right now, children are a liability. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, they're built.
They
Speak for yourself.
No,
I like my
I
children.
mean like financially. Lord, accountant 101.
Financially,
Liability and assets.
kids are a liability. However, there are definitely other uses. There are definitely. Let's just be real about it. Children definitely can actually uplift the family and take them to a different space.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it comes from being farmers and stuff like that. That's what it is.
Pete, get that boy a sibling. I told you about that. Okay.
He got a dog. I think he got a dog now. Get him a pet. Get him a pet. Definitely, y'all chime in if you need to. We'll talk about another minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and
I would definitely
get Desiree in.
I would definitely say only child is being an only child sucks. So
listen to this part, Pete. Go ahead.
I was the only child to parents. Well, my dad was in the military, so we jumped around a lot. So that's why my personality is so bubbly, because I always had to make friends. But I also had to learn how to deal with heartbreak early, because you make friends and then you got to get up and leave. So you get real. So and that's one thing when I was finding out myself who I was. I had to think about that. Right. I was like, well, why is it so easy for me to let people go? Well, it's because when I grew up and we bounced around a lot, every time I had friends, I had to be like, all right, cool. Well, it's time for me to go. It's time to move on to the next place. So it was easy for me to just turn off that switch and be like, we're gonna be friends right now, and we're gonna be like surface level friends. We may get a little deep, but I'm gonna stay close enough to where I'll be like, all right, cool, time for me to go ahead and leave. and not be hurt, because as kids put their whole heart into everything. Kids are genuine.
Right.
And it's like, man, I love this person, like this person's the nicest person, and then when it's like, well, yeah, you're never gonna see that person. It's like, oh,
yeah, by the way, you know what? Tomorrow we're leaving.
Right. Yeah, we're moving. So I mean, if people could, I would encourage you to have a kid and a half, or a kid and a dog, or like a kid and a best friend. That's it.
I grew up I had 2 other siblings as I was growing up. I know we got to switch up, but I'll be quick. I had 2 other siblings when I was growing up, an older sister and a younger brother. I had stints of being an only child because I would go and visit my grandmother, and I was the only grandson on my father's side.
Right.
So I would go visit her, and my weekends would be as an only child.
Right.
Then I moved with my dad, and I was only child then.
Right.
So I kind of get what you're saying, because we moved around a lot too. I wasn't military, we just moved.
Yeah.
But I get where you're coming from.
I didn't like the hand-me-downs or looking like triplets. Let's just put it that way.
Man, we had the best of times.
It
was lit.
Okay? I didn't like it.
Y'all did look.
I wanted to eat.
This is how we look like.
There
everything.
There are times I couldn't stand it. But that's the sisters. You go through things. But our childhood was lit. And most importantly, no gender roles.
No gender roles.
Hey,
we going.
Damn.
Please, somebody gonna marry you,
think
Lewis.
about that.
And he gonna have a car seat in the car ready for you, Lewis.
Wow.
Word.
We got you.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's go ahead and get the beautiful Desiree Jordan on here. I'm going to read her bio. We strive to make our ancestors proud on our voyage of wellness, a lifestyle company inspired by holistic support made by Mother's Earth. It is our vow's mission to serve the good news of the mind, body, spirit wellness we all deserve and can achieve with centeredness from prayer and meditation, a balanced electric diet, and through physical activity, a loving collaboration between hands and heart. Our vows, essential oils, diffusers, jewelry bring together volcanic lava rock beads and wire-wrapped precious crystals and stones. a known highly effective combination that provides numerous positive benefits to our overall well-being. Let's go ahead and bring on the beautiful Desiree.
I gotta do one of these.
I think it's maybe how I read it.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta
Let me scoot over a little bit, Vaughn. No. Maybe I can stretch it out. Let's do this.
So we can move.
Bet. You want to do this, or you want to move?
No, that's no. Do the other.
All right, cool. We go this way. Well, welcome to the show, Desiree. How are you?
Thank you. I am so good. I'm really enjoying this episode today. I mean, I've enjoyed all the episodes that I've seen, but I really appreciate being a part of this today. And you guys are hilarious, but also it's really nice to hear different perspectives, knowing that some of you have children, some of you don't, and what you've learned so far, what you've experienced with other people asking you about kids and the pressures to have kids. I have my own story of not having kids. Donita, I feel similar to you, where I wanted to have like a, some selfish time, but also I'm getting up there in age. So it's just really good to hear, different perspectives. I really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Definitely. It's for the community. It's for the culture. This is why we're here. So tell us a little bit about yourself before we go ahead and dive into like your business.
Yes. Hey, everybody. I am Desiree Jordan. I am an artist in all forms of the word. I'm a singer. I play piano. I also create a ton of different things. I've always loved to create. And now I am moving into creating jewelry and accessories using essential oils, using like gemstone crystals, lava stones to bring awareness to wellness and how we can be well.
Definitely. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into my first one, because one thing that I liked about the business is something with the body, mind, and the spirit. What's so funny is that I've always seen the number, at least for the last 10 years, 333. I don't think I've told you guys that, but I've been seeing that number, and it's very powerful. So what inspired, what made you come up with that as the push for this business, the body, mind, and spirit, that we should be aware of and the benefits of that for us?
Yes, the trilogy.
Yeah.
So a lot of different things inspired me, to be honest with you. But I would start by saying my own personal wellness journey. I've been blessed to do a lot of different things in life. One being perform in several different states, in different venues, different kind of stages. And it's one thing to be an artist and be able to do what you love to do, but it's another thing to be an artist, especially one who travels to perform, and not be 100%, your full self to actually be well. So a few years ago, I felt like my stomach was just a little bit off. And over time, essentially my diet or my body was telling me that I needed to make changes. So I grew up in Maryland, kind of like a Southern eating habit. So I grew up on bacon and cow milk and dairy, cheese, and, all the good finger licking chicken and steak, all that stuff.
Right.
But essentially over time, I think because of the way food and drinks are processed, my body was like, I'm not really agreeing with everything that you're putting into it. So I've had to find different substitutes. And with my stomach telling me something is a little bit off, I tried to find different ways, whether it be fasting or doing a master cleanse, and essentially trying to get well. I actually threw my body off. Yeah, it was not cute.
You going too hard?
I went really hard. I did this master.
You just said cold turkey, bam.
Well, no, not cold turkey. I've definitely progressed with things over time, but with me throwing my body off, I did a saltwater cleanse. And I think I put too much salt in the cleanse. Gotcha. And it actually it messed up. I was cold and my bones were hurting. My spine was just feeling off. Y'all still there?
Oh, no, you're good. We're still here. Just a little camera thing. Keep going, sis.
So essentially me throwing myself off led me to find different ways to get back on. And one of those things that I found, because I did not want to go down a pharmaceutical route, I wanted to find whatever was most healthy for me. So that led me to essential oils to help balance my body. That led me to finding substitutes. So where I used to eat like dairy or drink milk, I actually now only drink either oat milk or macadamia milk or, just substitutions. At this point, I'm actually 100% plant-based on a plant-based diet, which means I eat no meat, no fish, no animals, just 100% vegetables and fruits. And the good thing is, because so many people are going this route, a lot of businesses have created substitutions for us. So I'm not just eating like grass or flowers or, nothing. I'm actually eating really well, just all plants.
Love that. I love that. Deja, I think you have a question?
Yes, I do. So what would you say some of the health benefits are that are in the essential oils, or such as the gems and the lava rocks that you have mentioned?
Yes. So to begin, let me show you guys an essential oil. This is frankincense, right? And I actually get all of my essential oils from a wonderful company called doTERRA. And I trust this company. Or here's another one, sandalwood.
I'm going to just take her saying this off.
Another one, cedarwood. And essentially, essential oils are extract compounds sourced directly from plants. So if you can imagine how good it is for you to ingest plants like vegetables and fruits, taking the compounds that are derived from these plants are really, really good that you can use them by breathing them in. You can like just aromatically put it in or diffuse it in your diffuser. You can actually also use them topically. So when I was not feeling well, my bones were kind of like off because of that salt cleanse. I was using Siberian fir and cypress topically. And then you can also use certain oils internally, whether that be like lemon to help your digestive system get back on track. Actually, some oils you can cook with. You definitely have to do your research, and you definitely have to make sure that you're measuring the proper amount before you just dive in and start putting oregano oil and different things like that in your food. But essential oils themselves can help uplift your mood. They can definitely help bring you back to balance when you're not having such a good day. Just smelling them can get you like in a positive vibration. And a few years ago, I was introduced to gemstones. So let me bring this to the camera. This is something that I really, really love. The earth, the most magnificent stones, like just straight up. We've heard of diamonds, we've heard of sapphires, we've heard of, all of the zodiac signs have their own gemstones that are associated.
Correct.
But aside from being just beautiful, the earth and these crystals or gemstones or these stones that just come straight up from the ground, they have different kind of like beneficial properties as well, whether that be mood uplifting or whether it be like some of the things that I like to share with people is that stones like black tourmaline can help protect you from negativity or even from like radiation waves. So it's beneficial to have stones, whether you wear them or you can, jewelry wise, you can have them just around your house. I know some people have big amethyst stones just like chilling in the corner. And, you see those people and you think they're like, oh my goodness, so earthy, but it really does emit like a positive vibration and can keep some of those things that you don't want away from you.
Can I ask you one question?
Of course.
Would you say that, because based off what you just said now, there's a lot of different stones that can help with different moods and can help people get into a positive mood, especially if they're in a negative state. Do you think that these stones are more valuable than diamonds at this point? Because I feel like I've never heard diamonds bring in that type of like positive energy, nothing like that. It's just diamonds is just
unless it's a ring. Yeah, unless it's a wedding ring.
If it's a wedding, it's a wedding ring. But at the same time, does that diamond affect your energy as far as making things more positive? Because I've heard this from like that every stone that you just named, I've heard about it,
Yeah.
and it's always a good thing with those stones. But I've never heard anyone say anything about a diamond except, "Hey, this is the price for it." You know what I'm saying? So
That's a really, really good question. So some things that I have been doing lately, as I'm doing research and as I'm creating more jewelry, is that I'll just Google. I'll just go straight to Google. So right now, as you asked this question, I went to Google and I asked, what are the meaning of diamonds? And so check this out. They'll say that believing the illumination and reflection of a diamond will inspire imagination and ingenuity in its wearer. They also bring about strength, fortitude, and courage through a diamond's hardness and invincibility, having the power to drive away bad energy or fortune, or bring good fortune.
Right.
So with diamonds, and that'll be a whole other topic, why they use diamonds and why diamond rings are so important in society. But I wouldn't say that diamonds are more or less important than any other stones, like your black tourmaline, or this is a smoky quartz. I think that really all stones have a different kind of like beneficial property. For example, I'm not wearing clear quartz, but clear quartz can stimulate your immune system. It can reinstate your body balance. Another stone that I like called Malachite. It's green. It can, and I had this job where it was just very corporate. And when you go into like a corporate setting, sometimes it's intimidating because you got all these people that are just, super suited up and everything's got to be like, perfect. So I would walk into my meetings with my malachite necklace, my black tourmaline, blocking the negativity kind of, right? And I'd wear malachite to enlighten my leadership qualities, to also bring about like creativity and confidence, and to enhance my protection. So it's hopefully that answers your question. It's like diamonds, yes, they're cool. They're definitely important, but they're not more or less important or special than other gemstones.
well, marketing would definitely say otherwise. You got to spend 3 months' salary on that diamond. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
but from what I've heard, I feel like a lot of the stones that you've mentioned here that aren't diamonds have a little bit more of an impact. That's
They
what it seems
They
like.
have just as much impact. And definitely, I love that you guys are actually talking about doing research. So I had done some research on diamonds and why in our society they're so important for proposing, or for showing that like you're worthy of courting me, and actually you're worthy of marrying me because you've spent 3 to 5 months of your salary on this diamond. And what I found out is that diamond rings specifically, were used back in the early 1900s as propaganda. Someone put into a newspaper just to get their jewelry sales up, that diamonds are a girl's best friend, and diamonds are, what is going to be important for your marriage to be solidified. It really had nothing to do with like the value of the diamond. It was more so like marketing. It was propaganda to get people thinking like, yo, if I give this diamond to my woman, then she's going to, she's going to value me more.
Right. I mean, I feel like, well, I don't feel like, but there was a point in time, I believe it was in South Africa, where diamonds, you can literally walk the surface and then pick them up. Yes. So they're not as rare as the advertisements and propaganda leads on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny that one company, maybe two companies, actually control almost all the diamond mines to keep the supply low, to artificially keep the price high. Yeah. It's kind of wild because diamonds on this planet is really not that rare.
Right. So
you're absolutely right as far as the whole propaganda. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting to see actually different stones. Like you could walk into what they would call a metaphysical store, and where you get your gemstones, and it'll just be stones all over the place, and how they have different values. This stone might have cost me $5, whereas another stone could cost me $35. Same size, or whatever. And I think it has to do with how difficult it is to mine, how available it is. And like as with diamonds, it's not just the diamond ring, it also has the gold on it, or the rose gold or whatever else they use to mount it. But like people are assigning their own value to these stones. But how I'm looking at stones these days are more so like, what kind of metaphysical value am I going to get from it? Am I going to get a spiritual meaning from it? And that's not to say, because I grew up in church, in a Christian church, as you all know.
Yeah, definitely.
That's not to say that I'm relying on gemstones or any other thing as a totem or something that is going to be more important than God, right? But I do believe that God created these stones, and along the way, people, will say tribes, started to notice that, me having this kind of like smoky quartz is actually clearing my brain fog, right? So if God made it, just like God made sandalwood trees and he made frankincense trees, I use it in tandem with my spirituality.
And I support that completely. And I do the same thing because I do that in foods, right? Different herbs, different seasonings that you can do. And so I definitely support what you're doing as far as with the jewelries and the health benefits from it. And I definitely want people to know where they can follow you, where they can support you. And that way, because you're a small business, right? So we definitely want to push this out there and stress. And why do you think the big push was? Because it's been the last 3 or 4 years, essential oils has been out there as far as like, do it. What do you think that push was about before you go into your social media where they can find you?
Good question. So I had a conversation with my mom's partner. I don't like to say boyfriend because, when you get older, just the boyfriend, girlfriend just sounds a little funny to me.
Right.
Because they grown. He's like 70 something. Boo. And he was saying to me that he had been using eucalyptus oil since like back in the 70s. And I was just like, really? Like, I was really surprised. Because like you said, I'm just getting hip to essential oils maybe in the last like 5-6 years or so. But what I think it is that people are starting to want to go back to the more natural. We have a lot of like pharmaceutical companies that are pushing for pills. And you could probably think about your grandparents' age, your great grandparents' age. And I can remember my grandparents having like 4 or 5 pills at the dinner table just to balance and regulate the cholesterol and the this and the that. I don't think it's necessary when we can balance ourselves, mind, body, and spirit, with the things that we put into our body. And sometimes it takes for us to notice like, oh man, I've got some kind of imbalance, hormonal imbalance. And yes, it might lead to something like endometriosis or other, inner illnesses that we're starting to learn more about and starting to seem like we've got more of, Alzheimer's. You can go down the list. But I think essential oils and other natural things are becoming more popular in this day and age because I would say people are tired of taking all these pills.
I would say it's more than that too.
What would you think?
I would say, honestly, I think social media played a big hand in that because you can look on your phone now and see, man, this person looks really good. Wait a minute, she's how old?
Right.
He's how old? And you've been doing this for the last 37 years? Whoa. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of diet that you've had. And then you got that person can now reach 100,000 people. So I think it's not just an awakening that people just want to go back to that. It's just they see people doing it now and they're saying, well, wait a minute, I'm 25. When I turn 65, I don't want to be all decrepit and can't move and all this stuff. So I'm going to do with that person who's now 72 and she looks like she's 50. So I'm going to do what she's doing. I'm going to do what he's doing. So I think that plays a hand in it too. And on top of that, what you said too, like people are kind of tired. Like, do these pills really work? You got people taking 30
It's a lot
pills.
of side effects with a lot of these medicines.
Yeah, so
it's
like,
better to do the natural route.
Exactly. There's no side effects with the herbs.
None.
You see what I'm saying? But there's side effects.
Some of them.
There's side effects. Well, yeah. But there's
Some herbs.
But
they all have some kind of good effect.
That's so.
Right.
Yo, y'all silly.
I totally agree with you, Vaughn, that social media, the presence of just the internet in general is getting us aware of a lot of things. Just the fact that we can search, the fact that we can see an example of, 80-year-old bodybuilders who have been vegan for the last, or plant-based for the last 40 years of their life. It gives me hope, actually. I especially love to see older people that are just crushing it, looking and feeling great. It's not just how we look on the outside, but it's really about how we are on the inside.
Definitely.
Having your health is worth more than having $1 billion.
Exactly.
Real talk. You can have that money, but if you can't move, how are you going to enjoy it?
Right.
So,
actually, it's interesting that you say that because one of the Rockefellers, I'm not going to say which one it was because I forget which one it was, but one of them who had a whole bunch of money, he had, before he died, 6 heart transplants.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
But he only lived to like 90 something. So that to me spoke really loudly. Like you've got a lot of money, but between, let's say, your 60s and your 90s, you're having 6 heart transplants. You're not really adding any benefit to your body. You're actually just like prolonging whatever is going on negatively on the inside. It's just that money allowed him to,
Yeah, I like to see somebody who wasn't a billionaire have 6 heart transplants.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was taking advantage of that. He wasn't really doing what he needed to do to stay healthy. There's no way in hell you should be having 6 heart transplants. That's ridiculous.
The average person couldn't afford it. Been like John Q.
But not even the fact that you couldn't afford it. The fact that you actually needed them. That means you damaged 6 hearts after the age of 60 through up until you're 90 years old. You had 6 of them. That means that's not. I don't know what word that is. That's not irresponsible. That's something else.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Reed, tell us how we can find you or how people can find you so they can go ahead and support the business.
Of course. So I just want to say that the business is called Our Voyage of Wellness. And I am really happy to say that God gave me that name because at first I wanted to share my experience and all the things that I'm learning about wellness. But I realized that this is not just my journey. All the things that I'm learning are as a result of other people's journeys or other people's voyages of wellness. And let me just say about wellness. Wellness is by Pfizer, who's a biopharmaceutical company. By their definition, wellness is the act of practicing healthy habits on a daily basis to attain better physical, mental, and I'm going to add in spiritual health outcomes so that instead of just surviving, you're thriving. So on our voyage of wellness, because it's not just about me, it's about all of us. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Our Voyage of Wellness. Also, yes, okay, put it down there.
I told you I was sitting over here trying to type it all up individually.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So Facebook and Instagram, Our Voyage of Wellness. You can also find me just on our website, which is developing, ever developing, and there will be more information shared on there as time goes along. ourvoyageofwellness.com. And now you can find our products on Etsy, which is really dope to be able to share that with you. So like I said, I'm creating jewelry. The volcanic lava stones that you mentioned, they are actually able to absorb and diffuse, which is like to put that smell back out to you, essential oils. So the purpose of this is to bring awareness to the essential oil and so that you can wear it. You don't have to necessarily have a diffuser on you all day. You can wear your essential oil. You can dab it on your lava stone that's included on your necklace. And then coming soon, candles, baby.
Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
So coming soon to the Etsy page, we've got lava stone earrings. So you can dab it on, bloop, bloop, and then you can be smelling yourself all good all day.
Yo, hey, get it out by Mother's Day. I'm telling you, Mother's Day is going to go crazy. So if you can get it out by Mother's Day, definitely.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So
Well, thank you so much, Desiree Jordan, for being on the show today. We really do appreciate you from coming on and just talking to us about the essential oils and the jewelry and all your new coming things that you're working on and your mission. So, guys, please go out and support her and everything that she's doing in the community. So we salute you for everything you're doing, and thank you for joining us for Women's History Day. So thank you, or month. Sorry.
Yes.
So proud of you. And I'm sorry I have to do this. Shout out LPS Cookies.
Thank you all so much for having me. It's really been a blessing to be able to be on a platform like this with you all. And it's good practice for me to be able to share what is so important about wellness. I just want to mention that there are a lot of people, let's say entertainers, for example, that we all may look up to, like actors or singers. And it really is devastating to me that someone could get to such a high platform, but not be, and be so influential and inspirational. But if they don't have the mind, body, and spirit balance of wellness, that's how we can see a lot of people get depressed. That's how we can see a lot of people even want to go down the route of moving on from this life.
You're going right into the Nini hydration. What you doing?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's about the balance of our mind, our body, and our spirit. So thank you for having me on to talk about wellness and our voyage of wellness.
Yes,
I got my water for our hydration section, so let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. I got my gallon over there with some apple cider vinegar in it, so
let's go.
I'm about to go ahead and drink that. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll definitely be in touch, sis.
Thank you.
Peace out. That was Desiree Jordan. Make sure you guys support. All the links and stuff will pop up on the screen. We're going to go ahead right into the Nini hydration for the week, and it's called Body, Mind, and Spirit. My sis already touched on it for a little bit, but what I wanted to talk about in general is what she was saying is that they all go in balance, right? You got to make sure your body is good, your mind is good, and your spirit is good. I told y'all before I was seeing the number 333, and that was one of the things that I kept running into in my life, because I noticed that when I was having certain things happen to me, I noticed one part was off. So as long as we're working on our body and you're working on your fitness, make sure you're eating right. Make sure you're working out. You're in the gym. Your spirit. Make sure you're praying or meditating or reading some type of quote that's going to keep you going. And in your mind, yoga and even some more meditation, or even trying to educate yourself to start thinking about some other vocabulary, like expand your vocabulary or your knowledge. So it's key, because if one is off, again, there's other factors that can happen. So don't neglect one. Don't put one higher than the other. Make sure they're all balanced so you can be the true you and the best version of yourself. So that is the Nini hydration for the week. And honestly, guys, today was just bomb. Today's show was on point.
Yeah, today was dope.
It was dope. It was definitely dope. But make sure you continue to inspire, uplift, and empower someone. We love it.
And protect your energy. Protect your energy.
Protect your energy. All right. UGR is out. We love you guys. Have a good week.
Deuces.
Take care.